Hey, what's going on everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Recently I picked up a retro Nintendo console lot on eBay and I wanted to take a look at what we got here. Now, 2 weeks ago I was searching around for some SNES games and NES games just to add to my collection and I came across this lot here. So I put in my maximum bid of $250 and I actually lost out on this. Somebody outbid me. But a week after this ended, I was contacted by the seller. The original buyer didn't make payment, so I got a second chance on this. And I figured we'd go ahead and get this all out of the box and see if everything works. This is supposed to contain an SNES, an NES, and a Wii. I already own these consoles, but really when it comes down to it, I wanted some of the games that were in the lot, so I figured I could just sell the consoles later on or just hold on to them. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't many SNES games included, and the two that were included are ones that I already own. But I think I got a pretty good deal on what I have here because the prices on these retro consoles and games have been going up the past couple of years. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all of this out of the packaging. This looks to be the power supplies and AV cables. And exactly what we have here. But it looks like we only have one power supply for an SNES and no power supply for the NES. Here's the Wii power supply. I mean, I got a couple of these laying in the garage I haven't messed around with in a while, so I might be able to rob one over there. The next package here looks like all the controllers. I can see that zapper from here. We got two SNES controllers, a Wiimote, and a nunchuck, but only one NES controller, and there was supposed to be two in here. But all of this is original equipment. It's not in bad shape. It definitely needs to be cleaned up, though. I took a look at the feedback that the seller has, and it looks to me that this person hits up a lot of estate sales and yard sales. They had some shoe racks listed, some light fixtures, and things like that. So they don't normally deal in video games. Okay, so busting open the first console here. This is the Wii. I actually got a couple of these modded laying around. One thing that always comes broken is this door, but this one is in good shape. It's not popping off, so I don't have to order an extra for that. It's a bit scratched up, but not too bad. We'll have to see if all this stuff works. Moving over to the SNES. Overall, it's looking pretty good. The top is in mint shape. The bottom's got a little discoloration going, but it's really not that bad. All the stickers are still here on the bottom and the back side. Looks like somebody actually took care of this one. And the final console is an NES. Again, we got all the stickers on the bottom. It's got a couple scrapes, scuffs, and scratches on it, but you know, I didn't buy these in mint condition. I kind of bought these sight unseen, untested retro consoles, and really, I couldn't be happier with the condition of each of these so far. But I will have to see if each and every one of these do work. Now, before I test these out, I just wanted to take these games out of the packaging. We have two SNES games. I own both of these, F-Zero and Super Mario All-Stars with Super Mario World. Still, great games to have. And finally, we have the NES game lot. There's supposed to be 18 NES games here, and he did have pictures of everything, so I kind of know what I'm getting into. There was some pretty good stuff in here. A lot of this stuff I didn't own already, but there were a few in here that I do have. So we'll get this out and see what we got. Now, in my free time, I will test all of these, but in this video, I definitely wanted to test these consoles just to make sure they work. First up, we have Jaws, The Simpsons, Bart vs. the Space Mutants, Mario Bros. 2, Paperboy, Arch Rivals. I've actually never played the NES version. We have Tiger Heli, Turtles 3, Manhattan Project, obviously Super Mario Bros. 3, Home Alone 2, that's got to be worth like $400, Dino Ricky, Back to the Future 2 and 3, Mega Man 2, Yoshi, Akari Warriors, Little Nemo Dream Master, Battletoads, Bible Adventures in the black cart. I've also seen this in the blue cart. We have Mario Bros. With Duck Hunt, and finally Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. So that was actually 19 games instead of 18, and I think there's some really good stuff in here. So one thing I just realized was this didn't come with a sensor bar, but that's fine. I think I got one in the garage. I do have an HDMI adapter for these Wii's, so we'll go ahead and see if this thing works. I've owned about 5 of these things and never had any issues except for that top missing. And mainly I just use them to mod them out and play GameCube games on. And the Wiimote is already connected to this console. And this has already got the homebrew channel on it, so this has been modded in the past. I wonder if it's got an SD. No SD card, but yeah, I mean, this already has the NES emulator on. It's probably got some other stuff loaded up. I'll have to check the firmware on this thing and see if I need to update some of these emulators. But like I mentioned, one of the main things we use these for around here is GameCube games, and with the homebrew channel already installed, it's going to be easy to install CoverFlow and get that up and running. Not bad at all. So we got a working Wii here with a Wiimote. I will need a sensor bar. I can order one for pretty cheap, but I may have an extra one somewhere around here. So the Wii works great. Let's go ahead and see if the SNES and the NES is working. Okay, so I've just moved over to my smaller arcade cabinet because I do have a coaxial connection. I don't have access to my RetroTink 2 right now because I let a buddy borrow it and I'll probably never see it again. So I'll just end up getting one of the RetroTink minis from Amazon once they're back in stock, but this is just a good way to test it out to make sure the console works. And so far so good. I had a good feeling about this one because it did look like it was in good shape. It can definitely use a little bit of cleaning up, but it is working. So the final thing we need to test here is the NES. So the moment of truth, we'll go with Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, which really doesn't hold up to the real arcade game. Had a weird little mishap there at the very beginning, but it seems to be never... Okay. I'm just gonna let it sit. Definitely needs a little bit of cleaning, and I can probably adjust the prongs inside. I'm guessing that this one's never been serviced, so it could use a little bit of love, but as you can see, it is a functional NES. So in the end, I'm definitely happy with this lot here. It was $250 with $28 shipping, so a total of $278. Got an NES with a zapper, a single controller, no power supply, and 19 games. An SNES with 2 controllers, power supply, 2 games, and a Nintendo Wii with a Wiimote, a nunchuck, and power supply. In the past, I've been able to find better deals on stuff like this at flea markets and yard sales, but now it's really getting hard to find it, at least in my area. And nowadays, a lot of people are getting into retro gaming and retro game collecting, and the price on this stuff just keeps going up. So at $278, that's including shipping, I do think this was a pretty decent deal. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. Really appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think about this lot in the comments below. I know some of you are in different areas and can probably find this stuff cheaper, but where I am, this stuff is running out, so I do have to hit up online auction sites to get it. So I got a lot more work to do here, cleaning everything up. I think I can get this NES and SNES looking pretty decent. But that's it for this one. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And like always, thanks for watching.